list starts now.
If you're already runny and drippy, it can really make the waterworks even worse.
3 foods you thought could help you when you're sick, but don't.
It's a myth.
Plus,
I have some great tips to help you fall asleep within 5 minutes.
from lights to mattresses, what you should do before you lay your head down. But first, bringing love to leadership. How 4 simple principles could help companies boost profits and morale.
They did go from worst to first.
That's at the top of our list right now.
Hey everyone, I'm Christina Guerrero. You know, we've all had bad experiences with a company or product, and we all know a good brand experience when we have one of those. Well, turns out the secret ingredient is often something we don't associate with those things. Jimmy Rhodes shows us how love is just good business, and it's our featured story at the top of the list.
When you think of business success, things like efficiency, competitiveness, and strategy leap to mind. But love?
We're conditioned to believe that love has no place in business, and nothing could be further from the truth.
Steve Farber wrote, "Love is just damn good business," and brings love into workplaces using the acronym LEAP.
It stands for love, energy, audacity, and proof.
We're running down real-world examples of each principle, starting with love.
Love is the connection of your heart to your work.
That wasn't happening at a shipping company called Trailer Bridge.
The place was toxic.
So they looked at their practices with love in mind.
A container had to be at least 75% full, because if it wasn't, they would lose money on the shipment.
If they didn't hit that number, stuff didn't ship. So they asked, if we loved our customers, what would we do?
When you asked the question that way, the answer was pretty obvious. We would ship.
That meant losing some money in the name of love, but in the past 2 years, profits
It exceeded the previous 25 years of the company combined.
Okay, how about an example of energy?
Energy is the enthusiasm that you bring to bear on what you do every day.
Card company American Greetings walked the energy walk when they showed designs for their new corporate headquarters to employees.
They got feedback, primarily from their creative folks, that they wanted natural light throughout the entire building. To redraw the plans would cost the company an additional $30 million. So what do you think they did?
Fired their entire creative team?
They spent an additional $30 million.
Or that.
Can you imagine how energizing that was for the people that had that input?
Huge! Next, the A in LEAP stands for audacity. Like a little company in Canada called Hallmark Retirement, whose staff took annual volunteer trips.
So they started getting their residents involved by bringing them to Guatemala.
Naysayers said it would be too much for residents in their 80s and 90s, but they defied expectations and loved making an impact on the world. Finally, there's proof. A young Brian Stevens pushed to manage the Ponderosa Steakhouse in Gary, Indiana.
Because it was the worst performing store in the chain.
The employees showed up late with dirty uniforms and never filled out their paperwork. He could have just fired everyone, but instead,
he asked a question. Why?
He learned that public transit was notoriously late, so
he got in his car and he drove them to work.
Employees didn't have washers and dryers in their homes, so
he personally washed their uniforms.
And paperwork was skipped because, for some, reading was a challenge.
So he and the rest of his management team would tutor them.
He walked the walk, and the proof is in the results.
They did go from worst to first. Not in 2 years, but in 1 year.
Which is why Steve says,
love is just damn good business.
Bringing love into the workplace is at the top of the list.
You know, we also put a lot of love into the holidays, but if all that shopping and cooking has you tossing and turning, don't fret. Teresa Strasser found ways to have us snoozing within 5 minutes so we can finally have a silent night.
Have a hard time falling asleep? Don't worry, we got you covered.
And I have some great tips to help you fall asleep within 5 minutes.
To learn how, we turn to certified sleep science coach Peter Tripodi. Our first tip so you can snooze soundly is go caveman.
Having it dark and cool, just like the prehistoric days, will get you right there.
And the temperature in the room, ideally?
72 to 74 degrees will be perfect.
So cold.
Yeah, cold.
And to block out the light, he says blackout blinds or a sleep mask will do the trick.
And no digital devices, obviously.
None at all. No TVs, no electronics. That non-natural light will affect your sleep cycle.
So you're supposed to eat paleo and sleep paleo?
Yes, exactly.
Caveman meets Sandman.
Next on our lullaby list, clear your mind.
Taking the time to just let go of the day, have that mindfulness to just relax, and you'll be able to fall asleep a lot faster.
He says if taking a deep breath and trying to relax does not work, get up for a little.
Go into a quiet, peaceful room, and then do something there, and then you'll be able to come back into bed refreshed and ready to fall asleep.
And for our final tip, we are getting our Goldilocks on. Find the right mattress firmness for you.
Not all of them are one-size-fit-all mattresses. So depending on your body shape, the sleeping position is very important. There's certain mattresses, certain firmnesses that will be right for you.
I'm a back sleeper. Do I want soft or firm?
You want more towards the firm side if you're
Okay.
strictly on your back.
Stomach sleeper?
Firm. So that way your spine is going to be aligned throughout the night.
And for the side sleepers, Peter says choose medium firmness. And if you aren't sure how you sleep or which is best for you,
Find a sleep coach and they can actually direct you to the right mattress for your specifics.
What if they make me run laps?
No, they won't do that.
What if they
They'll
make
make
me-
you take a nap.
say bye-bye to counting sheep, because now we can have the tips to fall asleep in 5 minutes.
And if Mr. Sandman's still a no-show, Rise and Shine might turn into Rise and Shut the Front Door. Grumpy Mornings are our first story, trending now.
As a business owner, it's extremely important for me to get a good night's sleep. If I don't get a good night's sleep, it's all downhill.
Yeah, and she's not alone. In a survey for the baby company Hatch, folks wake up on the wrong side of the bed 300 times a year. The crotchety causes include unusual dreams and temperature issues.
I actually sleep with ice packs under my head.
Sounds chilly, but hey, whatever works to keep those lids closed. Most folks wake up twice a night. A big reason why? Their cuddle buddy is snoring. Nah, who needs sleep when there's coffee? And now an airline is serving their caffeine fix in an edible cup. Taking a bite out of waste is at number 2.
So here at the Air New Zealand Regional Lounge, we serve about 600 coffees on any given morning.
Air New Zealand serves millions of cups of coffee a year, and now they're taking steps to reduce waste by pouring that Java in a cup you can eat. A company called Twice makes the cups with wheat flour, sugar, egg, and vanilla essence.
I thought it was very pleasant. Yeah, it was a nice way to finish the coffee.
Yeah, no, it was great. I enjoyed it actually. It was quite nice for morning tea. I'd get one again.
The leak-proof cups are also being used for desserts. Right now, Air New Zealand is testing them out in some lounges and on select routes, but they hope to eventually replace single-use cups on all their flights.
I can eat this when I'm finished with my coffee. How fantastic.
Yes, but does it taste fantastic? Well, you know what is fantastic? Never having to leave your couch for a meal. We're looking at Grubhub's year in food at number 3.
Grubhub is there for me literally from Sunday until Sunday.
Well, a lot of people felt that way about the food delivery service this past year. Its annual Year in Food report analyzed tens of millions of orders and found cauliflower pizza was the top order, skyrocketing 650% in popularity throughout 2019.
In 2019, Grubhub delivered the world to your doorstep. You fell in love with cauliflower pizza crust?
That wheat-free crust climbed 6 spots from last year. Runners-up include spicy Brussels sprouts, portobello empanadas, and black bean and sweet potato tacos.
What will you order in 2020?
Well, if you're asking me what I'm going to order in 2020, I see burgers and french fries in my future. And that's what's trending now.
Coming up on the list, some are tasty, some are sandy. And why is there a lobster on top of this one? Extravagant Christmas trees out on full display. And our favorite 90s movies that you can watch over and over, including one of the most unusual flicks of the decade. Plus, from psychics to detectives, skilled professionals looking to help your pet.
Definitely has a gift.
That's all coming up next.
Welcome back, everybody. You know, we've all heard the wisdom about feeding a cold and starving a fever and drinking lots of fluids when we're not feeling well. But knocking back the wrong things can knock you down even further. Here are 3 foods to avoid so you can feel better faster.
You might remember Mom pouring a tall glass of orange juice to cure a cold growing up, but that refreshing cup of zest might not be the best idea after all. In fact, there are foods that are worth ditching overall when you're ill.
It's the time of year. Happens every year, doesn't it?
We spoke to Dr. Deborah Matthews, who shared 3 foods to avoid when under the weather. First, we're talking food with a kick. Spicy foods.
Now, a lot of people think that spicy foods will help you sweat out
the infection. So spicy foods do make you kind of sweat. And so, people do think that it sweats out the toxins, but that is a myth. The spicy foods have an ingredient in them called capsaicin, and that can make your nose run more. So if you're already runny and drippy, it can really make the waterworks even worse. So you might want to avoid spicy.
Instead, she recommends getting your fix of flavor with garlic, a natural immune booster.
We can make a salad dressing with garlic and olive oil, full of antioxidants and fiber, and really great for your immune system.
Next, ditch the dairy products.
If you have a stomach bug, it can make it hard to digest milk and can actually make diarrhea worse.
Instead, she recommends drinking golden milk, a soothing remedy for your stomach.
So what you do is you heat up 2 cups of almond milk and you add in a teaspoon of dried ginger and a teaspoon of dried turmeric, and those are both naturally anti-inflammatory.
For a dash of sweet, add honey to your golden cup of goodness. Last on our list of foods to avoid when you're sick, sugar-sweetened beverages.
Guilty as charged. When I get sick, I go for the orange juice and I go for the Gatorade. This is wrong?
It's a myth.
Dr. Deb says although orange juice has vitamin C and Gatorade contains electrolytes, the amount of sugar negates the healthy properties.
Sugar suppresses your immune system, so you want your antibodies out there fighting off those germs, and too much sugar actually inhibits your body's ability to get a grip on the virus that's making you sick.
Instead, she recommends a warm cup of green tea and your mom's chicken noodle soup.
Your mom was right. You should drink chicken soup. Chicken soup is full of electrolytes, and again, the steam helps with congestion. So chicken soup is full of immune-boosting nutrients.
We're helping you feel 100% with foods to avoid when you're sick.
Well, there is something that makes us feel good all of the time, the kind of love we get from our furry best friends. Teresa Strasser has 3 unusual ways people are working with pets, and it's on the buzz list. Teresa.
Thanks, Christina. We bet you have never heard of these peculiar pet professions. At number 1, a pet psychic. Just one of many out there. Jennifer Harmel came to the rescue when Bonnie, a 7-year-old dachshund mix, went missing, telling owner Missy Banker that her dog had been attacked and had injuries on the left side of her face, the right side of her body.
I just saw her get up and move, and she said, "I'm going home." And she said, "I'm going home."
About 20 minutes later, the dog walked through the gate and onto the patio with wounds matching exactly what the pet psychic had predicted.
There's no way that she could have known those things. I have Jennifer to thank for finding her. She definitely has a gift.
Holy cow, that lady needs her own show on Animal Planet. At number 2, a doggy doula. Typical doula provides guidance and support to an expecting mother, but doggy doulas, like Tanya Lim, owner of Denver's Family Pups, prepares you and your dog for the day the baby comes home.
As a doggy doula, I provide dog training and support for expecting families.
Let's pet the woof woof.
If at home the dog is really great and he would never ever do anything to the child, which is not realistic to assume because every dog can bite depending on the situation.
To avoid a scary situation between your dog and your newborn, Tanya suggests setting up baby gates, never leaving the baby and the dog alone together, and using a dog crate. Oh, and never yell at the dog when you see aggressive behavior.
I realized how many things we were doing wrong. Dogs are part of the family, so when you're growing your family, you don't think about getting rid of family members, and you're hoping everyone's going to get along.
Furry friends and fresh babies, feeling the love, can't beat that. And the 3rd unusual animal occupation making our list, a pet detective. Yes, just like Ace Ventura, Jamie Katz is a licensed private investigator in Florida who specializes in finding lost or stolen pets. She uses many tactics to find the missing animals, and when she's successful, the reunion videos, spectacular. Always uplifting seeing pets reunited with their owners. Strange pet professions on the buzz list.
Wow, that's so cool. I had no idea pet professions went beyond just the groomer and the vet. Awesome. Lots more of the list is still to come, so stay with us.
Now from the list, 3 benefits of having a side hustle. First, it allows you to pursue something you're actually passionate about while your day job pays the bills. Then, there is no limit to what you can do. Side hustles can range from ready-made gigs like Uber to popular YouTube channels. Finally, if your consistent, life-changing cash starts rolling in, the average side hustler makes about $600 to $800 a month. Not exactly pocket change. For everything that's new now and next, go to thelisttv.com.
Welcome back, friends. All right, sure, 2020 is right around the corner, but it's the throwback to the 90s that's exciting people. We've discovered our love for that decade and everything from fashion to music, so let's go all in. Shagun asked a movie expert to name the 3 best movies of the 90s. It's on the hot list.
There are a lot of great movies, obviously, that were made in the 90s.
But we're looking at the best of the best. And to do that, we asked Screen Junkies film critic Dan Murrell to narrow it down to 3 of his favorites.
The Coen brothers' Fargo is one of my favorite movies of the 90s.
Yeah, you bet.
The performances in that film are pitch perfect. Frances McDormand won an Oscar. William H. Macy, who was largely introduced to a lot of people through that film, is brilliant. It's comedic, it's dark, the way that it juggles those tones, and it's sweet also. I love how balanced that film is.
Okie dokie, thanks a bunch. I'll let you get back to your paperwork then.
At number 2, likely the most unusual movie of the decade,
Being John Malkovich by Spike Jonze, one of the weirdest movies ever made, but also a movie that I like a lot.
You can be John Malkovich.
It's perfect. It's my second choice, but it's wonderful.
It is wonderfully bizarre, and it may not be for everyone, but I think the people that like it really, 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 really like it. John Cusack and Cameron Diaz, Catherine Keener, all giving great performances. Truly unique and one of a kind.
Isn't that odd?
It was amazing.
And John Malkovich, the way that he's able to have fun with his own image is so awesome in that film.
Malkovich!
Malkovich. Yeah, that happened. And number 3 on Dan's list of favorite 90s flicks,
I think you gotta go with Point Break. It's ridiculous, it's stupid, it's great, it's all of those things simultaneously.
Adios, amigo!
Patrick Swayze and Keanu Reeves as skydiving bank robbers / surfers. I mean, you don't get any better than that. So I think that is such a great capsule of just like what was going on in that decade, and it's so much fun as well.
Rock and roll.
Break out the microwave popcorn, because it's a 90s movie party on the hot list.
Okay, yes, all great flicks, but how did he forget to include Clueless, as if best 90s movie ever? We will be right back.
Here's a quick list for you about how to set your home Wi-Fi up for success. First, place your modem and router in a central spot. Second, make your connection secure by changing the factory password that comes with your device.
Don't use something like your address or your pet's name.
And third, to really improve your signal, buy a mesh system for about $200 online.
So this ensures that your home is blanketed in coverage.
Now that you're up to speed, head to thelisttv.com for even more fun and informative lists.
'Tis the season to deck out that Christmas tree, folks, but that doesn't have to mean just tinsel and ornaments. Some folks' version of O Tenenbaum will make you say OMG. Heidi Fogelsong looks at some truly bizarre Christmas trees across America.
Ready to break out of the typical holiday tree tradition? Then join us as we hit the road in search of some really quirky trees across America. We start in Keystone, Colorado, where we discover a 6-foot Belgian white chocolate tree. Yum. It's all part of the creation of Keystone Resort's Chocolate Village.
When all is said and done, 7,000 pounds of chocolate are on display, featuring a chocolate tree, moving gondolas, chocolate waterfall, nutcrackers, and of course, the chocolate train.
You can visit Keystone's amazing Chocolate Village in the resort's main lodge daily from now through January 7th next year. Now we travel northeast to New England and the Lobster Trap Tree in Rockland, Maine. This unusual Christmas tree is reeling in people hook, line, and sinker from all over the place.
The size and the scale of this tree is enormous.
Over 100 lobster traps, zip ties, loads of garlands and lights make the tree. Buoys serve as decorations honoring members of the fishermen and women here. And the crowning touch on the top, an enormous lobster, of course.
It stands tall and proud and strong.
Merry Christmas!
The lobster trap tree is a time-honored tradition here in Maine and a nod to working the New England Sea for centuries. It's on display through December 31st. The last stop on our tree tour, West Palm Beach, Florida, where we find tons of sand. Check out the Sandy tree.
3, 2, 1.
It takes a lot of sand and muscle, plus an artistic eye, to build this beachy holiday vision.
A 35-foot-high Christmas tree out of more than 600 tons of sand.
This tree is the focal point of the annual Sandyland Festival, featuring cool light shows, sharks, glow fort mini golf, and more. You can enjoy this month-long festival through December 31st. 'Tis the season to get into your holiday tree vibe with all of the unusual trees across America.